Apparently, Blake Foster likes talking to fans at conventions, especially fans who he may feel he's established a level of trust. But what Blake doesn't know is these fans, similar to the ones who just exposed his DMs or conversations or investment amounts that they given to Blake, they all are resilient army. We have converted the resilient army is like the fight club. It's like a fight club for Power Ranger fandom. We're everywhere and nowhere at the same time. You know, saying you're a part of the resilient army or you know me could get you banned from conventions. Well, this person that was talking to Blake Foster, he had a lot to say. Okay. And this conversation took place after Blake was drinking heavy, according to this person. And Blake started ranting about every actor, including Jason David Frank. All right. And what did you think he had to say about Jason David Frank? You know, publicly it's all loving and I miss yous, and that's my brother, my mentor, all this cappity cap, cap, cap.
Stop the cap.
But privately, he would talk about, or he told this person, that Jason David Frank would beat him up to the point where his father had to step in and stop him. He also called Karen Ashley, and you can take this with a grain of salt, a scam artist.
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around.
Have we ever seen Karen Ashley and Blake Foster together? I'm sure they'll team up now. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Everyone except for Johnny Young Bosch is frauds, according to Blake. And not only are they frauds, they took his ideas and he should have patented them earlier. Now, I know Blake is watching this shit, man, because he is the Rican Ranger of Power Rangers when it comes to me. He's just as obsessed as Rican Ranger when it comes to me, which is wild in my mind. But I'll take it as a compliment that he's nervous about what I'm going to say and what I'm going to produce and how he's going to try to say it's Chat GPT. Okay. Now, he brings up the fact that him and his family are Christians. And what really pisses him off is that his son watches my live streams, right? Son is watching my lives, which, you know, I'll be talking about some crazy stuff for like a 12-year-old to be watching. You know, you got to wonder, why is a 12-year-old watching content like mine? This is not for kids. Not for kids at all. But, hey, someone to watch, we conduct the show the same. He goes on to say that anyone talking about that he got scammed, the messages are AI. Okay? Are AI. And shout out to Frank Senpai, because this is actually going to come up, right? In the next one. Not that this is the person, but here we go. I met Blake Foster at a Texas Con in 2019. Purchase of a legit Metal Turbo Morpher. Key was available, but came off extra pushy and needy. Didn't buy it. All right, so he got a Metal Morpher. How was it? You could just type it in the chat. Appreciate the super chat though. How was the Metal Morpher? But pushy and needy? Yeah. Because Blake being pushy and needy is the reason why he doesn't make as much money as he thinks he should at conventions. All right. Now, he will go on to say that Austin St. John is a fraud martial artist, which we all knew that. So he's just stating the obvious. Now, he preferred to drink bottles of Crown, as in after conventions, Blake is going to the liquor store, getting a bottle of Crown, wash it down in his room by himself, presumably. Okay. He constantly complains about not making money at conventions, and he blames it on the owner or their lack of promoting. All right. So this is everything that this person is telling me. I wish they would have just let the interview out, but they just like, no, 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 no. Okay. Now why he doesn't make money, right? He was selling morphers, I believe, for $200. Then he would drop the price to $160 with a signature for free, while other people were selling the similar morphers for $50. But his was better because they were shiny. All right. And Blake is known to be a big drinker. The big drinker, according to this person. They say, hey, he's a big drinker. As in, he says Blake was putting them down. Now, because he's a big drinker, when he shows up, quote unquote, hungover, he's going to say he's just tired. Just this is this person's recollection. Okay. He's going to say he's tired. He's not hungover. Now, when it comes to complaining, right? If he finds out other people are getting guarantees, he's going to be upset. But they explained to me the people that Blake was complaining about, these are his peers that are other Power Ranger actors and whatnot. They got a guarantee because they pay for their own travel. Whereas Blake always wants his travel hotel paid for, and he wants a guarantee on top of that, which he's never going to make back. You know, like you're not having Blake Foster at an event and he's doing $2,000 to $3,000 in autographs and merchandise. That shit's just not happening. You know, he's on his way. He's on his way out. As I was saying, look at the conventions that he's booked and see which ones he could book again. Normally it's like a 2-year cycle, right? So you go to a convention, you wait 2 years, and then you come back. Where is that at for Blake? It's not existent, you know? And I don't think it's coming back. Also, he shows up at this particular con as it was opening, and he left before it closed. And they're not talking about just this convention, but other conventions also. Now, I can't confirm all this shit, you know, take it with a grain of salt. I can only confirm what I've been told firsthand. But let me know what you guys think about this fan's interaction or interview with Blake Foster. Let me know in the comment section. See you in the next video. Peace.